as another name. They don't go by Katie on here. And I kept trying to tell them, if you want your go Isla, stop licking me. If you want to go by Katie and you want your pronouns they, them, or she, her, then you need to put your profile picture in your name as Katie and your picture as a woman. So maybe on Hinge, if you don't want to be referred to as a woman, and everything, every time come in and announce your pronouns, even if I say maybe I'll let them introduce themselves, and maybe change your, I know you told me before you have a really good job, so you can't have your picture, so then put up a random, like you put up a random celebrity, put up Channing Tatum.
Well, the thing is I don't care about getting misgendered.
Okay, then stop. I'm boom, 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 bop, beep, bop, boom, bop, bam. You don't care.
That's
it. That's it. You don't care. You don't care. We care, but you don't care. Cool. Got it. Good. That's the end of story. No more.
Well, I do have a meeting that's happening in like 2 minutes, but I really appreciate coming on here. You guys
running some things?
Bye.
Yep. And then I think Dominic, I don't know if
Hello.
What's your age, pronouns, and who'd you vote for? I don't think you've been introduced.
I'm 21. I voted for Trump, and I'm him.
Okay. And what are your ideas on the prompt, please?
I don't think that it should be allowed. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around about all the LGBTQ things.
No, and I can understand that because my background, where I came from, the church that I used to go to, it's called the International House of Prayer. It's a major conglomerate that's worldwide. And this whole concept is nothing new. Like, people are saying like the whole bathroom thing is like from last year or something. Well, that's just a complete and total BS, because back in 2008 and 2009, when I was in church and praying at the House of Prayer that I was a part of, we were praying against this idea of people using the wrong bathrooms. And what we were praying for was for women to be protected. And what we were saying and what we were preaching is that you are the gender that you are born as. And that's all that we knew. That's all I knew. That's what I knew, because my desire and my impulse was I need to be the protector, and I need to protect women. And this is such a big deal because these people are mentally unable to, they're mentally disabled or whatever it might be. But then what started to change my mind was, that I never decided my gender identity. I never decided whether or not I was gay or straight. It just always was. It was always persisted. But more recently, I've been kind of exploring that more and what it really means. And, I don't really feel like identifying as a man anymore either.
Alex, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Was this before or after you married a BIPOC woman and had an interracial?
This was far before. So I was in church.
And hold on. And can I let everyone know that she's also pansexual? Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
So Dominic, was it? Is that who you're addressing? Dominic. So this happened way before he met a BIPOC woman who's also pansexual.
Yeah, but I can tell you 1,000%, Wes, that if my political leanings hadn't changed, my wife wouldn't be with me if I wasn't inclusive. Like,
did she help open your eyes though?
No, not on these aspects, because it's, again, the things that changed my mind was never deciding for myself what my daily orientation was, that I didn't have to think about who I was attracted to. I am more exploring the premise that so the idea of like being a man is not something I've ever agreed with, but I've also been like inundated with religiosity my entire life. So long story short, what changed my mind was realizing I never made a decision for myself. I just always was. And then the second thing that I realized was that no matter what we were doing and no matter what we were saying, or the next thing that changed my mind was that when I realized that trans people, and I started reading the statistics, the trans people that were suffering because they couldn't get the gender-affirming care, and I started doing research about unalive rates. I started doing research about, the therapies that a person goes to, who they have to talk to in conjunction with their families, their doctors, et cetera, et cetera. I realized that I didn't think that a person that was transitioning would put themselves in a position to seek the care that they need to be happy and comfortable in their gender identity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at especially trans minors, when they aren't allowed that access, then the unaliving rates increase. And this is just a form of control, not allowing people to express how they are.
Not just on like unaliving from outside sources. There is, you know, a lot of trans individuals do suffy slide because the inability to get that care or get the gender affirming help that they need. I think for a transgender individual, like their max age life expectancy is 46, if I'm not mistaken.
And I also want to make a couple things like one thing straight, two things G4Y here. One, non-binary individuals and trans individuals 9 times out of 10 do not deny their former existence before they transition or come out. So I want anybody that is an op here to understand that. So me as a non-binary person, I will speak for myself only. I do not deny that I was born with male parts and that I was born as a male, but I don't identify as a male or a female now. And then second of all, I also want the ops to understand up here that people who are transitioning are not elementary kindergarten kids.
They're more like high schoolers and
exactly.
From the God then.
Exactly. I just want people to understand that are in the comments or up here on the panel, that it's not kindergarteners, first graders, second graders, third graders, fourth graders. They may be on like hormone replacement if they have a hormone imbalance, but they're not going to get surgery. I wanted to make that clear. Okay, History, you want to go?
Yes. So I actually started my hormone replacement therapy at around 16 years old. I'm turning 20 in a couple of months. So yeah, I'm almost 4 years on now, and I've never. Before I transitioned, I was so unhappy with myself that I genuinely wanted to. And yeah, no, I've never been happier. So the thing is, when people in the comments and stuff, like, you can't be happy living like this. I'm genuinely happier now that I'm transitioning to be a man, that I have had less dewy thoughts and more just, I wonder what I'm going to look like in X amount of time.
Basically more stress off your shoulders, basically.
Yeah. It's a while, right? It's 5 years really to see a lot of end results when you transition.
Did we introduce running?
No, but I do believe that they are under 21, if I am not mistaken. How old are you running?
How do you know?
19.
They said this is 21 plus. I didn't see the full prompt.
Okay. Yeah, goodbye. Thank you.
But I'm curious on Dolphin, or Dominic, sorry.
Yeah.
Dolphin? I have a question. Can we just call you that?
Dolphin? Yeah, that's fine.
It's no shade, I promise. We're not being mean, but
no, it's all right. I like the Miami Dolphins anyway. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cute nickname now for you.
So, where do you fall on the spectrum of should trans women be permitted to use restrooms?
So with what I've been told, because I'm not really like, you guys are just like basically putting my mind into all that, because I've never like, you know, you want to be you, you want to be you. You know, we're all human in this world, so to me it doesn't really matter. But like, I feel like, you know, since we got family restrooms, we got men and women bathrooms, why don't we just have, you know, gender neutral bathrooms? We can open up a gender neutral room where we can have their own bathrooms. So why would there be a complaint about that, you know?
Well, so when you say gender neutral, or unisex, are you
need a mod in the comments, I'm sorry. Also, I'm not able to mod completely right now.
Why? Oh, I thought you meant like I didn't give you full privileges. I was like, I gave you full privileges. What are you talking about?
Oh, no.
Wait, what happened in the comments?
They've already been deleted, but
okay, you're good. Okay,
I took care of a couple, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm still gonna be here, but
where was I going with this?
Well, I just wanted to kind of bring up the reference of unisex bathrooms.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Sorry.
Would be a good idea.
Yeah, can I now that you got me back on that, can I just, before I forget? Are you okay with the idea of having no urinals, just a bunch of stalls in a row, and then like a couple sinks in the middle, and then anybody can use it, men, women.